Fine snow streaked the air, riding sideways on a gale in early March 2006. Biologist Rick Yates led the way, breaking trail on skis through the powder. Great cliffs striped with avalanche tracks rose on all sides. Somewhere higher up among the clouds stretched the ice fields that gave this valley, Mini Glacier, its name. We crossed 2 frozen lakes and finally passed into an old-growth spruce forest that took the edge off the storm. Beneath the branches, half buried in snow, stood a large box made of logs 6 to 8 inches thick. It looked a little like a scaled-down cabin, but it was a trap, and there was a wolverine inside. The animal had entered during the night. We knew from its radio frequency that this was M1, M for male, number 1 because he had been the first wolverine caught and radio tagged during a groundbreaking study of the species underway here in Glacier National Park, Montana. Sometimes the researchers called him Pigan instead, after a 9,220-foot mountain at the head of the valley. To me, he was Big Daddy, constantly patrolling a huge territory that straddled the Continental Divide near the heart of the park. His domain overlapped those of several females, and he had bred with at least 3 of them over the years, while successfully keeping rivals at bay. We paused a short distance from the trap to listen. M1 was silent. Predictably, he began to give off warning growls as we drew nearer. They rumbled deep and long with a force that made you think a much larger predator lay waiting inside, something more on the order of a Siberian tiger, or possibly a velociraptor. I lifted the box's heavy lid an inch or 2 to peer in. The inside of the front wall underneath was freshly gouged and splintered, its logs growing thin under Big Daddy's assault. Raising the lid another notch, I could finally make him out as a dense shadow toward the rear of the trap. Wolverines have dark, brownish eyes, but in the light from my flashlight those orbs reflected an eerie blue-green color that glowed like plutonium, surrounded by the rising steam from his breath. The next things I saw were white claws and teeth and stringers of spit, all flying at me with a roar before I dropped the lid shut and sprang back. Inside the trap, the roaring and growling continued. Wolverine 4, hope you won't be needing your face for anything, tame boy, because I'm going to take it off next time. Followed by the sound of more wood being ripped apart. Given a few more hours, M1 would have an escape hole torn through the mini log cabin. From time to time, the tips of his claws poked out just above the uppermost log of the front wall, while he rammed his head against the lid. He was trying to shove the thing upward, though the ice-encrusted logs that formed the top of the box must have weighed 100 pounds. I looked around at the trees and the snow swirls beyond and shook my head, thinking of my long-ago vow to steer clear of these creatures. Having joined the Glacier Wolverine Project in 2004, I was going into my 3rd straight year of breaking that vow in just about every way it could possibly be broken.